They told you to cover up so men wouldn't sin.
That is crazy to me.
They never told you what happened to your body when you obeyed. Nobody talked about the girl who stopped trusting her own instincts. Nobody talked about the woman who learned to disappear before anyone told her to. Nobody talks about what happens to a nervous system that spends 20 years being managed instead of listened to. We're talking about it today. Before we get into that, I'm Renisha, and if nobody has checked on you today, that is exactly why I'm here. I need you to watch this entire video because I'm going to say some things that your church did not prepare you for. And I say this as someone who loves God. I love the church. I've also watched the church do some real damage to real people. Today, we're talking about what toxic religion, specifically modesty culture and spiritual shame, actually taught your body to do. Not just what it told you to wear, not what it just told you to believe, what it conditioned your nervous system to feel, fear, and suppress. This is not an attack on faith. This is an autopsy on a system. I need you to know if you grew up in a church, a household, or a community that used your body as a moral battleground, the confusion, the shame, the anxiety, the disconnection you feel, that is absolutely a trained response. Stay with me. Let me be real with you about what the message really was, even if nobody said it out loud. You were taught that your body causes sin. The attention, whether you wanted it or not, was your fault. That being looked at meant you did something wrong. That desire of any kind, hunger, attraction, wanting to be seen, was a spiritual problem to be managed. And here's what's sneaky about it. They didn't have to say it directly. They said it with dress code. They said it with the way adults looked at you when you wore something fitted. They said it with the youth group lessons about you being a stumbling block. They said it with the modest is the hottest. Like that was supposed to make you feel good about erasing yourself. What that did neurologically, not just emotionally, is it created a system in your body where existing felt dangerous, where being seen felt like a threat. The natural signs your body was designed to give you, this feels wrong. I don't want this. I need to leave, got overridden by, is this modest? Is this holy? Am I causing a problem? You were trained to manage other people's reactions instead of trust your own. And baby, that does not affect how you get dressed in the morning. I want to explain something to you without making this feel like a therapy session because, baby, I'm not your therapist. I'm the friend who took a psychology degree and some very expensive healing and decided to tell you everything they told me. Here's what happened. Every time you got a message that your body was the problem, whether it was a sermon, a side eye, a comment about your clothes, or being told, be careful what you invite, your nervous system logged it. Shame is not just a feeling. It is a survival signal. When shame hits, your body actually goes into a low-grade threat response. Not the run from a lion kind, the kind where you get small, you go quiet, you stop taking up space. You preemptively shrink yourself so that nobody has a reason to correct you. Over time, over years and years of this, the shrinking becomes automatic. You don't even realize you're doing it. You walk in a room and you're already making yourself smaller before anyone says a word. You have an opinion and you swallow it before it even reaches your mouth. You feel something in your body and your first instinct is, should I be feeling this? Instead of, what is this telling me? That is a trained nervous system response. That is not who you are. And this is why I cannot let anybody over-spiritualize this. You cannot prayer journal your way out of a conditioned nervous system pattern. That is not a faith problem. It is a wiring problem. And of course, wiring can be changed, but not by pretending that it doesn't exist. Girl, let me save you about 4 years of journaling and tell you why this does not just go away on its own. When your body learns to suppress its signals, when it learned that what you feel doesn't matter, that your comfort is less important than someone's morality, it doesn't just suppress the bad signals, it suppresses all of them. So now you don't just struggle to feel sexual safety or body confidence. You struggle to feel your own preferences. You second guess what you want to eat. You can't make a decision without polling everyone in the room or everyone in the group chat. You say yes when every cell in your body is screaming no, and you genuinely don't know why you can't stop. You freeze in situations that are just mildly uncomfortable. That's because your nervous system was never taught the difference between discomfort and danger. It was just taught suppress, comply, be good. I need you to understand this does not make you weak. This is not spiritual immaturity. This is what happens to an individual who was not allowed to be in their own body. And the reason why you can't just get over it is because just getting over it requires you to do something that you may have never been taught. Trust yourself. And baby, that's the work. That's the real work. Real quick, if this video is already hitting different, can y'all drop me something in the comments, please? Tell me where you grew up. What did the modesty message sound like in your church? I read these, I respond, and honestly, I need to know how many of us are walking around with this in our bodies. Like this video, wherever the like button is, subscribe if you haven't already, and keep watching because now we're about to talk about what this really cost you. I want to name some things that you may not have connected to this yet. Difficulty with intimacy, not just physical, but emotional as well. I may do a whole nother video on this alone. If your body was taught to be managed, intimacy can feel like a risk. Being fully seen feels like a threat. Even in safe relationships, you are waiting for the correction. Number 2, decision paralysis. You outsource your choices to your pastor, to your mother, your father, your partner, somebody. This is because you were trained that your instincts were not trustworthy. Number 3, over compliance. You people please compulsively. You apologize for existing. Go watch the video I just released about why you can't stop apologizing. You make yourself agreeable even when you're in pain because causing a problem was the original sin. Number 4, disconnection from desire. You don't know what you want. You don't know what you like. You've been so busy managing how you're perceived that you never stopped to ask yourself what you actually prefer. And here's the thing that nobody's saying out loud. Some of you were vulnerable to abuse because of this. A nervous system that has been trained to suppress its signals, to override its no, to defer to authority, to prioritize others' comfort over its own, is a nervous system that has been, in some ways, prepared for exploitation. Now, I'm not saying that to make you feel worse. I'm saying it because naming what happened to you is the beginning of changing it. Healing from this doesn't mean finally having the right modest outfit that makes you feel holy and cute. It looks like learning to have a conversation with your own body. It looks like noticing, not judging, noticing when you get tense, when you go small, when you say yes and your stomach drops, when you feel something and your first instinct is to check to see if it's appropriate instead of actually feeling it. It looks like asking yourself, maybe for the first time, what do I actually think? What do I actually feel? What do I actually want? Not what you were taught to want, not what looks right, what is true for you. That is not rebellion against God. That is stewardship of the temple he gave you. The body is not the enemy. The body is the messenger, and you have been trained to shoot the messenger for years. The work is learning to listen again. And I want to be honest with you, this is not a one video fix or a 5-step plan. This is a process. And the actual how of building that trust again, of rewiring those patterns, of doing the inner work on your nervous system and your spirit at the same time, that's what I walk women through. If you've been watching this video nodding your head, if you recognize yourself in what I have been describing, the shrinking, the suppressing, the not knowing what you want anymore, I want you to know that there is a next step. It's called the clarity reset, and it is the beginning of the inner work, where you start to understand why you respond the way you do, where those patterns came from, and how to interrupt them. Not from a place of shame, but from a place of finally understanding yourself. The link is in the description. If you're not ready for that yet, check out my inner healing playlist. Subscribe to this channel. Keep watching and keep showing up for yourself. You were not designed to be managed. You were designed to be whole. I'll see you in the next video.